Tonight, it's an unimaginable loss. We're hearing from the family of a young Moose Lake boy who died tragically this weekend. Plus, a mountain of debt will be forgiven after Duluth City Council voted to help a local ski hill. And in Chisholm, the community rallied around a longtime school secretary who's closing the books on one challenge as she takes on another.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. The Moose Lake community is rallying behind a family who lost a son far too soon. CBS3's Emma Quinn shares how the community is putting their sticks out for Drew and his family's response to the support.
He was amazing, and he always will be. He loved so big, and he cared about everybody.
The Moose Lake community is showing support for the Nordstrom family after their 7-year-old son, Drew, died in an ATV crash Friday.
Just everything I did. He was my sidekick.
The community raised more than $23,000 over the last few days, something that has left Drew's mom, Erin, speechless.
And we appreciate it so much, and so does Drew, and it just shows, like, even though he only was here for 7 years, like, what an impact you can make in the world.
The first grader was described as a ball of energy and athletic. He wore number 4 on his hockey jersey, and the community put their hockey sticks outside in his honor. His classmates even made a memorial.
The whole school community knew Drew and just loved him. He was energetic, had just a great sense of humor. He was funny, outgoing.
Drew's family hopes people remember their boy for the love he gave and the life he lived.
I just love big like Drew because he did. Like, his love was so big. We were blessed. We were so blessed.
Funeral and visitation services will be held later this week. You can find more information on that and the GoFundMe on our website, cbs3duluth.com. The Minnesota DNR is mourning the loss of one of their own, killed today in a car crash. The DNR says Conservation Officer Sarah Grell was on duty at the time. The crash happened near Grand Rapids, where she was stationed. Grell had been a conservation officer since 2005, following in family footsteps. The agency says her uncle, father, and grandfather were also officers. They called her loss devastating and asked everyone to keep her family in their thoughts. Grell leaves behind a husband and 3 children. Tonight, Governor Walz called for flags to be flown at half-staff statewide in her honor. New tonight at 10, a man needed rescuing tonight in Duluth's Chester Park after falling from a trail. It happened around 7 o'clock tonight near the 8th Street Bridge along the Chester Creek Trail. Fire officials say a 21-year-old man was walking on the trail when he fell about 35 feet to the ground below. We're told he suffered a fractured leg. Crews used a rescue basket to pull him through the woods and back up to the road, where he was treated and taken to the hospital. Dave joins us now for our first check of the weather. Dave, how's that fog doing out there? Has it cleared out?
No, it's staying thick by the shoreline, so our fog advisory stays in effect for the North Shore and South Shore till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay. I'll show a map of that later on for the main weather, but right now, let's talk about one of the reasons why that fog is forming up, because it's cooler by the lake, bringing temperature and dew point together, 100% relative humidity, and boom, there you see the fog line there marked in green. Oh, high temps today, only around 61 for Silver Bay, 46 on Park Point, 50 in Superior. But inland, it was toasty, much better if you like things warm and summery. 81 International Falls and Grand Rapids, 70 Moose Lake, that's not so bad. 79 in Solon Springs and 77 in Ironwood. Tomorrow, I think warmer temperatures will conquer even lakeside zones, and we're going to get pretty toasty. In between, tonight we still have a chance for showers and storms to develop from our last in a long line of low pressure systems that have knocked our fire danger down to low to moderate here now. But it may not stay that way too long. Frankly, some authorities are thinking tomorrow, when it becomes 80 degrees again with sunshine and gusty winds, the fire danger already will get high. We'll have to watch out for that because our next rain chance won't be here till Thursday. We'll talk about that and how long that 80 is going to stick around coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. After tabling the vote for 2 weeks, Duluth City Councilors tonight forgave a large amount of Spirit Mountain's debt. CBS 3's Kendall Jarbo explains why they say it wasn't an easy decision.
Spirit Mountain has a long, complicated relationship with the city.
The model is broken. The model is faulted, and it is time that we take steps to find a committed owner who will put the puzzle together with us.
Mayor Emily Larson laid out an idea, investing $24 million into the recreation area, updating and refreshing the space after years of neglect.
So I'm just going to urge you to support this so we can move on and make a difference in what Spirit Mountain needs to be and how we can grow that forward. Because like many other people said, there's a lot of other tough decisions we're going to have to make on this.
On the agenda at Monday's City Council meeting, $900,000 of debt forgiveness. A motion not everyone welcomed.
We as a council are the guardians of city finance and city funding and city tax dollars and city taxpayers. And so I think we have an obligation to ask hard questions to determine whether that number that's been proposed, which is a large number, is the right number.
Opponents say it will help the mountain use all of its finances to move forward, making it more attractive for potential management companies if the city were to lease out operations in the future.
This is an easy one, and this is going to help our city and continue to move us forward.
Councilors approved the motion, but there's still a long climb ahead for Spirit Mountain.
The vote passed 6-2 with Councilors Derek Medved and Joel Cypress opposed. Councilor Therese Tomanek was absent. St. Louis County is fully reopening all of its offices on June 1st. Some of the county's facilities are already partially open for specific services, but June 1st is when they will fully reopen to all walk-in services. Masks are not required but are encouraged for anyone not fully vaccinated. Well, some good news after a wildfire burned hundreds of acres in and around the Boundary Waters. Tonight, we're learning the Bajik fire is 100% contained. A lightning strike started the fire a week ago. It burned about 950 acres and destroyed a cabin and 3 outbuildings on private property. A fire crew is still on the scene, checking for any hot spots over the next few days. New details in a deadly Duluth shooting Saturday night. A teen was charged with second-degree murder after police say he fatally shot a man in the head during a fight. It happened around 7 o'clock Saturday night on the 100 block of East 3rd Street downtown. The suspect is Patrick Batiste Jr. from Proctor. The 17-year-old appeared in juvenile court this morning. Surveillance video shows a fight before the shooting. You could apparently see Batiste raise a gun and fire into a crowd of people. The 22-year-old victim, who has not been identified yet, was shot in the head. He later died at the hospital. According to court documents, Batiste also fired another shot before running from the area. He was eventually taken into custody and is still being held at a local juvenile detention center. He'll be back in court later this month. This is Duluth's first homicide so far in 2021. Tomorrow marks 1 year since George Floyd's death. To honor his life, Minnesota's governor is calling for a moment of silence. It will start at 1 p.m. and last for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. That's the same length of time former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin spent kneeling on Floyd's neck during an arrest. A jury found Chauvin guilty of murder. 3 other officers are charged with aiding and abetting murder. They'll be tried next March. All 4 officers are also facing federal civil rights charges. Meanwhile, families of people killed by the police gathered on the eve of the anniversary of the killing of George Floyd at the Capitol in St. Paul. The families demanded justice and called on the state legislators to pass police accountability laws. For the past year, families of people killed by police and the community have worked together to demand justice for George Floyd. They say the real legacy of Floyd will be in the legislation to end police violence.
I don't want somebody else's family to stand here with me next week or the week after because it's happened to them. So before it happens to somebody else, somebody has to do something. And it starts with our lawmakers on changing and doing what's right.
The rally was led by a group called Families Supporting Families Against Police Violence. Their goal is to offer support to anyone affected by police violence. Gary New Duluth Rec Center leaders say they plan to install security cameras after another round of vandalism. They say someone came in and damaged electrical outlets, the sport court, and picnic tables. Vandals also struck the rec center, which is under construction, last month. Now, center leaders are asking people to attend their local community club meetings to find a solution. There is one coming up at 6:30 tomorrow night. After 41 years as the school secretary, Sheila Knie is retiring from the Chisholm School District. But as she closes one chapter of her life, she's taking on another. The Chisholm community celebrated her retirement today. Sheila was given a special quilt, and then students and staff surprised her by lining the streets to wish her well and thank her for her years of work. But for Sheila, a lot of that work is just beginning. Doctors found cancer in her appendix last year, and after removing that, Sheila found out the stage 4 cancer had spread. Her family says she is continuing to fight, and seeing support from the community gives her even more strength. We'll have much more on Sheila's long career and lasting impact on Chisholm students in just a few weeks. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, the fishing season is underway across our tri-state area, meaning more folks are out on the lakes. But are you staying safe on the water? Find out next.
High temp of only 55 today over the hill in Duluth, juxtaposed with 81 towards Grand Rapids. We'll fill in the temperature gap tomorrow. We'll all be on the warm side, but only for a day. It'll drop already by midweek. Okay, and the rain, well, we have a chance tonight. Then it'll dry up for a little while. We'll talk about that, too, coming up after our break.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
We can't all be morning people, but we can all eat McDonald's for breakfast.
Get 2 sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches for $4.50 and a soft drink for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Kevin from ServPro. Everyone has a home project that they want to get to. Building a deck, building an addition, remodeling a bathroom. The problem is availability with local contractors. Why should you have to wait for months to get your project done? Call ServPro today for fast, quality, professional, reliable workmanship you can count on. ServPro, like it never even happened.
Imagination makes a community grow. So bring us your best ideas. Let's see how we can help. National Bank of Commerce. We make more possible.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. Call right now for your free book. And as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched over 1,200 annuities and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from financially strong insurers. Again, that's Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free, for calling Annuity General today. Supplies are limited. Call now.
Call 800-816-8219. That's 800-816-8219.
Real encounters with God are life-changing. Join us Sundays at 11:30 for The Message of Good Hope and learn how you can reach your highest potential through a relationship with Christ. Only on the Duluth CW.
We can't all be morning people, but we can all eat McDonald's for breakfast.
Get 2 sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches for $4.50 and a soft drink for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. Weeknights on CBS.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Our region had 2 styles of weather today. Inland, it was warm and reasonably sunny. Closer to the lake, foggy and awfully chilly. Dense fog advisory in effect, still in effect. Oh, my own tongue twisters here. Through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So for the North Shore and South Shore, do travel cautiously. And if you're doing a late night boat run out in the middle of the lake, Well, that's a marine fog advisory too, so travel cautiously on all sides of Lake Superior. Hopefully we clear up tomorrow. After several days of rain, we could stand a day of sunshine. And by tomorrow afternoon, that's exactly what we might get, although it may not last much past Wednesday. Current conditions, first we take a look at that gray background. That's the fog here in Duluth, so closer to the lake, the fog is pretty thick. Up at the airport, the current temp is 51. 96% is the relative humidity, and of course that's aiding and abetting the fog chance, all right. Easterly, southeasterly winds going 6 miles per hour and 29.85 inches of mercury. That's our barometric pressure. It's on the lower side as the last of several lows works through the area, bringing one more chance of rain overnight tonight before we dry up for a couple of days. Current temperatures still pretty warm in the Upper Peninsula, roughly 65 to 70 over there, but we have cooler by the lake in Wisconsin with 47 towards Red Cliff and LaPointe, and still 72 down towards Hayward. Superior's at 46. Cloquet's at 46 as well, but it's still 55 in Moose Lake, 60 in Grand Rapids, and 66 International Falls. Lower 50s up the North Shore, though. So temperature discrepancies continue tonight, but again, tomorrow I think we're all uniformly going to go towards 80 degrees. One warm day before, just like on Sunday, temperatures drop precipitously, but probably without precipitation this time around. And precipitation at this moment, not any big shots of it. There's a little bubbling up from down towards the south, and there's a threat of a little bit of it in Manitoba. We'll say 40 to 60% chance for more overnight here tonight. Probably a better chance for Wisconsin and Michigan than in Minnesota as our last low pressure system works by. Then higher pressure takes over for tomorrow and Wednesday, making it sunny, warm one day, and then cold the next. So this last shot of rain, how much are we getting? In Minnesota, may go from 0 up around Baudette to perhaps 1/3 of an inch down towards Moose Lake. And in Wisconsin, many towns could go from 1/10 of an inch, even closer to 1/2 of an inch. Looks like Hayward has the best chance for the heavier stuff. Forecast tonight in Minnesota, we get a 40% rain chance with low temps from 45 to 57 degrees. Wisconsin, Michigan lows run about 50 in Superior to 62 for Cable. 60% chance for more rain, which becomes a partly cloudy sky tomorrow afternoon. Wisconsin and the UP will be near 80. Much of Minnesota will be near 80 as well. But that warming trend becomes a cooling trend by Wednesday when we drop to 60. And then down into the low 50s Thursday and Friday when our next rain chance comes aboard, followed by at least a little bit of warming and a little bit of clearing here for Memorial Day weekend, Kristen.
Yeah, pretty foggy out there. My goodness.
Yeah, but as you make your commute home later on tonight, conditions will just improve as you go farther north.
That's good. As I head up the hill.
Yeah, you'll work your way out of it.
All right. I can see clearly now.
The rain is gone.
Thanks, Dave. The fishing seasons are now open in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula, so boats are out and about in large numbers. Right now, it is National Safe Boating Week, which is geared toward refreshing those boaters' safety skills after our long winter hibernation. Dave Anderson brings us some safety tips from his colleagues in the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary.
The ice is out and the boats are in. Fishing season is open and snow season is hopefully closed, at least for a few months. Activity on the water is increasing, and so is the threat of boating accidents. National Safe Boating Week hopes to minimize the danger.
We just want people to be safe and aware out on the water and to know what they should have on their boats to be safe.
Members of the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary say the #1 safety tip is to have a life jacket for everyone. Of the various types, the compact self-inflating personal flotation device is becoming very popular.
And this will inflate with moisture. As soon as you hit the water, it will inflate within the first 10 feet.
Which type of life jacket is the right one? Auxiliarists say it is the one you are willing to wear.
And they're no good unless they're on you. So make sure you wear this every time that you're in the boat.
It's said that many people turned to boating to pass quarantine time during the pandemic. Many of those newcomers don't know the rules of the waterways yet. National Safe Boating Week is a good time for skippers to learn.
And what we really would like people to do is constantly be aware when you're out on the water. Just look around for what's happening, and that will prevent a lot of misfortune.
The Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla of the Twin Ports will soon offer several chances for free, no-penalty vessel safety checks. The first will be at Barker's Island on Saturday, May 29th. The following 2 Saturdays will offer safety checks, first at Lakehead Marina in Duluth and then in Silver Bay. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, if you've been trying to buy a house, you know how tough the market is, but what's behind the change? Find out next.
CBS 3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChev.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChev.com, a better way to buy.
Would you like to lose a pound of fat a day?
You have to weigh yourself every morning, and when you just see the pound go off every morning, it just keeps you going.
Step on the scale and you see the weight that you lost, and you're like, oh, this is so easy. Why didn't I do this before?
Order online or call today for a free consultation.
I'm Dr. Zan Corville. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at St. Luke's. Dealing with foot and ankle pain, it can be debilitating because these are complicated joints. And so there's different ways to manage each of these problems. Most can be treated without surgery. I'm a busy mom with 2 young children. We try to do things as a family that we can all enjoy. I love being part of a team and working as an orthopedist to help people return to athletics or getting people back on their feet so they have less pain for daily living.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick Parks and stuff. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Use purchase allowance to get up to 16% below MSRP on 2021 Buick SUVs. Visit your Lake Country Buick dealer.
Looking for a home run on your next home project? Don't strike out by using someone out of left field who makes errors, balks at your needs, isn't safe, and gives you the squeeze by charging double. Your home improvement company aced my window project, and working with them was a walk in the park. We never sacrifice quality, and you can count on us to avoid curveballs and save you time. Plus, they clean up, which is a big relief. Your home improvement company is a huge hit in Twins territory, even if their owner is a bit of a screwball.
Here at locally owned Adolphson Real Estate, we are ready to help you find the perfect office space to fit your business's needs with no extra fees. Take a look at this attractive standalone building in a busy and visible location in Moose Lake. Please call our Cloquet office for more details. Call us today to schedule a tour at Adolphson Real Estate.
When you live on the Iron Range near a mine, you feel the blast happen. The ground shakes. I remember in school, our school would shake on Thursdays at 11 a.m. So we would feel it, but we never got to see it. I want to go to the communities and find stories that haven't been told yet.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Vaki, Tuesdays at 10.
I never thought that you could lose weight without working out, but this is one of those programs that you don't have to work out.
In the first 40 days, I lost 28 pounds.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Get your Bennington pontoon at RJ Sport and Circle.
Tuesday on CBS3 this morning, the day marks 1 year since George Floyd's death. How the Twin Cities and the nation are memorializing him. And we've got a warm day in store. Temperatures climb back to the 80s, but not for long. So make sure to wake up with us.
CBS3 Sports is brought to you by St. Luke's.
Home prices are shattering records, especially in smaller cities. Buyers can barely afford to blink or risk losing the house they want. Desperate buyers, record low interest rates, along with low inventory and cash-rich investors are driving prices up. Nationally, 19% higher. But cities like Kingston, New York are up 35%, Boise up 33%, and Las Vegas up 15%. This 1,300 square foot one-bath home in Tiburon, California, went for more than $2 million. That's 58% above the asking price. Home buyers adding being able to work from home is driving many people away from big cities. Coming up in sports, Kelly will have an update from the Wild game, plus the Mirage finally get to celebrate their state championship with the community.
At Play It Again Sports, we have the largest selection of new and used hockey equipment in the area, along with a huge selection of hockey sticks, apparel, and cross-country skis.
Trade in, trade up, and save.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-379-1590. That's 1-800-379-1590. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
The nursing program at Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is really challenging, but it has to be. It's approved by the Board of Nursing. And graduates here have been successfully passing the state board exam. They give you real-world experience with healthcare institutions across the community. I'm really glad I chose Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19. And at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS 3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
You can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
All of us
Can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains. Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Now, CBS 3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
It's now or never time for the Wild. What started out as a very promising series lead after Game 1 has turned into a 3-1 deficit to the Vegas Golden Knights for the Wild. So tonight is must win, a later puck drop, 9:30 to be exact. But at last check, the Wild came out buzzing in the first period. 3 goals, one from Kirill Kaprizov, his first of the postseason, and then Zach Parise out of nowhere, and then Jordan Greenway. It's 3-1 heading into the second period. And MLB action tonight, the Twins were in a rain delay after 7 innings at Target Field. Back to it at last check. They led 5-3 in the 8th. Brewers take Game 1 against the Padres. And last year at this time, we didn't know if there would be college hockey, period. This time this year, we not only have college hockey to look forward to, we have non-conference opponents to look forward to for the UMD men's hockey team. The team just released their 2021-2022 full slated schedule, and compared to last season, the non-conference slate is looking a lot busier. UMD starts the season against BSU, the Icebreaker Tournament, and a home-and-home with Minnesota. Other non-conference opponents include Alaska Fairbanks, Northern Michigan, and MSU Mankato. Puck drops for the Bulldogs on October 8th. The broadcast schedule for My 9 is still in the works. Well, the Bucks didn't play their prettiest game of the season in Game 1 of their playoff series against the Heat this past weekend, but after 16 lead changes and 17 ties, they pulled out a tight one. Game 2 was tonight with a chance to take a 2-0 lead before they head to Miami, and a much different ball game. They tied an NBA playoff record with 10 threes in just the first quarters. 6 of them from Bryn Forbes. He led the Bucks with 19 at the half, and they never let their foot off the gas. Drew Holiday had 11 points. They were up 26 just after the first quarter. Chris Middleton had 17. Giannis had 31 in a complete dismantling of the former Eastern Conference champs. Milwaukee puts a statement 34 spot on Miami in Game 2 with a 2-0 lead before they head down south. And on the diamond earlier today, a matchup between Duluth East and Grand Rapids over at Wade Stadium. Bottom of the first, Garrett Johnson for the Greyhounds hits an absolute bomb to right field. That'll be a single and send 2 runners home to get them on the board first. 2-zip. Same inning, a base hit from Charlie Sutherland gets another Greyhound across home plate. And they have a 3-0 lead. Dylan Gray now up to bat. He hits a grounder. It gets a Greyhound out at second. And it looks like it's going to be a double play, but a bad hop hits him in the head. Luckily, he's okay. Greyhounds close out the first inning 4-0. They go on to win this one in a walk-off, 9-8 the final. Well, after an incredible season where the Mirage girls hockey team won the Class A title in double overtime, they were finally able to celebrate with the Proctor Hermantown communities tonight. They hosted a Skate with the Champions over at St. Luke's Sports and Event Center, where fans got to take pictures with the trophy, players, and shoot around. This was an event that was important to the team to celebrate that huge accomplishment.
Really nice to have this opportunity to share it with both Hermantown and Proctor communities. There hasn't been a state title up here in many years, so for us to be able to win it and bring that back and have the trophy is just an amazing experience, and we wanted to give back.
Community was a huge part of us, and I love being involved with all the younger girls and just spreading it, because when I was younger, I always looked up to the older girls, and I really want them to look up to us and know that it's possible for them.
You gotta love that. Well, that's gonna do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
Change the future of medicine from the convenience of home. Join the All of Us research program to help improve health research and speed up medical breakthroughs. Visit essentialhealth.org/allofus to learn more.
Would you like to lose a pound of fat a day?
Everyone just treats me a little bit differently, a little bit better. And I feel more comfortable in social situations.
Before, when I walked by a mirror, I would duck. I wouldn't look. Now it's like, who's that girl?
Order online or call today for a free consultation.
This is one of the biggest furniture events of the year, the Memorial Sale at Slumberland. Slumberland Furniture has the best prices around on all sorts of furniture. And right now at our Memorial Sale, everything is an additional 25% off our already low price.
This is totally you.
Oh. Yeah, this is the winner. Well, hello, Slumberland.
Get your look for less at the huge Memorial Sale at Slumberland.
We've been on the road with you for 50 years now. We're proud to share the safe roads and the roller coaster roads, even the long and winding roads. Navigating the road less traveled and cruising up the high roads. For 3 generations, it's been an honor to share the roads of life with you. Here's to another 50 and beyond.
Has your roof seen its better days? It's that time of year again to think of replacing your old roof. Call Peak Construction Roofing today for your free estimate at guaranteed affordable rates. Peak Roofing also provides the best roofing warranty in the Northland. Financing? No problem. 0% financing up to 12 months, or get a low-interest payment plan that will fit your budget. Call the best, Peak Construction Roofing. They'll do the rest. Let us take care of you.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
I lost a ton of weight, 93 pounds. I feel good, I look good.
75 days on the program. I've lost 53 pounds, 41.5 inches. You're not hungry.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Our buy one, get one for $1 suit and sport coat sale is now in progress. Hundreds of options. Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
Dave, I hear tomorrow's going to be pretty nice.
If you like it warm and humid, it's really going to be pretty nice. About half the region got that today. The other half fills in tomorrow. So high temps near 80 degrees. Sunshine builds in after a shot of showers and thunderstorms tonight. But then it drops right out of the bottom again like it did on Sunday. We'll go to 60, but it'll get sunnier. Then a new low comes to call to make it cloudier and rainier Thursday and Friday, and even cooler, only 50s then. But Memorial Day weekend's coming up, and temperatures will improve, and rain chances might be there on one of the 3 days, but the other two should be fine.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.